You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Young and the Restless fans. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt. And I've got your early weekly spoilers for December 25th through 29th. We've got a lot of stuff to unpack because we're heading into New Year's next week as we are doing Christmas this week ahead of the big day. I've got a lot to unpack for you. If you haven't already, though, please reach down, click subscribe so you don't miss any of our updates, spoilers, and news. All right. So to give you context for what's coming next week, I'm going to give you a quick rundown, as I always do, of the rest of this week. On Wednesday, the 20th, you're going to see big happy stuff over at the Abbott mansion. Traci Abbott is back in town. She is there. She's decorating the tree with Jack, with Diane, with Kyle, and with Harrison Locke. Yes, adorable little Kellen Enriquez is back, and they are talking about his nickname. I guess they're going to start calling the kid Harry, which is kind of cute. Harry Locke. That's kind of it's strange that, but like Harry Abbott would be okay. Harry Locke, for some reason, they need to change his last name, right? Since Ashland is dead and the kid is not old enough to remember the name anyway. We also have Devon and Abby talking about Christmas. They're going to have Ashley over. Ashley wants to get Dominic a pony because, of course, she does. And they don't really want Tucker around, although Ashley is still advocating for him. Tucker is happy. He has this whole box of presents he's gotten for Dominic. But then when he talks to Devon about bringing them over, Devon is hesitant, and it's this whole back and forth. Billy shows up over at Chancellor Winners to start working in time to hear Mamie and Nate talking. And Mamie's talking about kicking Jill out of the company. And Billy's basically like, over my dead body. I'm sure Jess Walton will be back, but it looks like Billy is going to be her mouthpiece, so we may not see Jess Walton back as Jill for a little while. Chance and Summer hang out at Society. We see flashbacks to the concert where they were having a lot of fun together because Sharon didn't go. Yeah, and of course Phyllis is definitely encouraging that. And Chance later meets with Billy, who tells him he is going to be his mentor at Chancellor Winners so he can hit the ground running. And Chance doesn't want that because he thinks Billy is super sketch. Well, of course, Billy is super sketch. On Thursday, the 21st, we've got the Jordan and Nikki big showdown. This is supposed to be the big final showdown. She pushes Nikki too far. Is she going to do what she did to JT and pick up a fireplace poker and crack the woman in her head? I mean, I do love Colleen Zink, but she's bad. She's so bad. Colleen said this is the worst character she's ever played, the most devious, the most evil. Victor warns Nate on Thursday when they sit down to talk, but Nate still is going to say what he has to say. And what he has to say is that Nikki is boozing again. He's seen the signs. Nikki is nearby. She overhears them talking and she creeps out. I'm not sure if she's going to keep lying or if she's actually going to come clean to Victor. Victor doesn't trust Nate and he may think he's trying to jerk him around, but come on, let's be real. Nikki fell off the wagon and she's clearly drinking and her family should notice. Ashley and Jack on Thursday think that they have defeated Tucker very thoroughly and they're ready to break out the champagne and celebrate his downfall. I think they are toasting too quickly. On Friday, December 22nd, Phyllis tries to ruin Christine's Christmas plans. We do know that Christine picked out a very special and personal gift for Danny from Fenmore's, and she goes to take it to him at Daniel's place, and she can kind of hear that there's people inside and they're singing and playing, and she's not sure, but then she decides to knock anyway. And of course, Phyllis opens the door and you know she's going to do everything she can to make sure that things don't go nicely for Christine. You know, she's still calling her the bug. But it looks like based on some behind the scenes photos that they're all there. Lucy and Heather and Daniel and Phyllis and Summer and Danny and Christine. And I think Phyllis is definitely going to be a problem. Michael wants to surprise Lauren and he's thinking out of the box this year. And Daniel gets a reminder of what Christmas really means on Friday. All right, going into next week, the week of December 25th through 29th. On Monday the 25th, there is no new episode. There should be either a rerun or a preemption. I'm not sure which yet, but Christmas in Genoa City may have already wrapped up by then, or we might get a little bit of it, but then we're heading directly into spoilers for New Year's. But before them, Brad Sanders is back as Clarence for Juicy Gossip on December 27th. If you don't know, Brad basically had this persona, Clarence, who did updates on both Y&R and B&B. Way back in the day, he was always dressed really natty and he had a really nice hat. And he is going to appear on Y&R as his persona, Clarence. Of interest, both Y&R and Bold had him on in the past in very small roles as a minister on Bold and the Beautiful and as a concert announcer on Young and the Restless. I also have to wonder if Jordan is going to be the Grinch that ruins Christmas, or if they are going to have her locked up or dead before Santa rolls into town and before the new year kicks off. Of course, it was so nice to see Jack, Diane, and Traci trimming that tree. It's exciting. New Year's Eve action mostly next week is what I'm expecting. Nikki and Victor look happy in their New Year's Eve photos, which means Jordan is in jail or dead, most likely, or they're just really trying hard to forget her for the night. It looks like there's a big party. We'll see Gloria Abbott Fisher Bardwell around for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day with her son Kevin Fisher, also around with Chloe Mitchell as his date. Michael and Lauren have a double date kind of situation with Danny and Christine for New Year's. And of course, that's going to rub Phyllis the wrong way. Phyllis is so cringe to me right now, just by the way, begging Danny, am I your muse? Am I your muse? Tell me I'm your muse. Meanwhile, he flat out told Christine that she is, and it's so pathetic to see Phyllis chasing this guy who is so clearly into another woman. Like it or not, facts are facts. He's never been into Phyllis. He married her because she lied and said he got her pregnant when he didn't. I mean, that's it. They had no great love. I don't know if Josh Griffith didn't read the history before he decided to drag this dusty triangle out of storage and try to force it in our faces again, but it is ridiculous. And Danny and Christine can bugger off and Phyllis can go chase Tucker, Nick, I don't care. Just anybody but Danny. Let him have the bug and just squash the whole thing. So what I do worry about with Phyllis, though, based on the conversations we're having this week, is that Phyllis is going to change her mind and accept Tucker's devious job offer, because when she's rejected, she tends to go to extremes. And right now, her mortal enemy, Diane, is happily married to Jack. Her kids are still being a little standoffish. Phyllis has no man in her life. And when things like this happen, that's when she gets very combustible. So look for a big New Year's kicking off at the end of next week, and then going into actual New Year's, there will be lots of more stuff to unpack. And as always, I will have a full week of daily Y&R spoilers coming later this week. So I'm excited to share that with you. Be sure and drop your comments. Come back soon. Click subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss any of our updates. And as always, this is your host, Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.